Simon Harris live from London, and I'm right here with American entrepreneur Chris James. And we've just had the Grammys, and Chris noticed that there's not that many there's not that many influencers or podcasters online talking about it, and we need to talk about it. There are things that happened at the Grammys that need to be discussed. The biggest music industry event of the year, certainly biggest in America, probably of the year. And the question is, has it turned into a celebrity fashion reality show event that's lost all its focus on the music industry? Or has it all, or as Chris has said, it's always been like that, maybe? Do you think it's always been like that?
100%.
100%.
It's always been like that. It's just like everything is now more pronounced and vocal and in your face because everyone is trying to battle with each other in social media and stuff. So there's a lot more. It's
the competitive thing of the celebrities competing with each other then.
Yeah. I guess like the two extremes, although like I don't even care, but it's like, you know, Willow Smith and Jayden Smith turned up on the red carpet. Willow Smith looked really good and cool, and then Jayden turned up and had a stupid like flat hat like carpet on his head.
What was there a story behind that? Was it something to do with the LA fires?
It looks so stupid. I mean, I'm a fan of Jayden Smith, like some of his rap tracks and stuff, and his Misfits kind of brand, apparel brand. And both the kids are really, really talented. They don't go all poppy and stuff. They do very obscure indie type stuff.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah, totally against. I mean, they could do real pop stuff.
I haven't been following them.
The only real pop thing that Willow did was that Whip Your Hair when she was really young.
And they can do anything because they've obviously got
any genre.
They've probably got fabulous home studios, courtesy of their parents, and
well, you know what,
an intro to absolutely anybody.
Yeah, but you know what? They're both very talented because like Willow has done really, really good songs. I can't name them all at the moment. And Jayden is a very good actor. You know, he acted with his father in a couple of films. He was like in Karate Kid and stuff. So they're both really talented, but people don't really focus on them so much because they don't try and be in the public eye and they don't try to do poppy stuff.
They seem to they seem to appear mostly at award shows. When suddenly the red carpet event, there they are.
Yeah, well,
it's generally the Oscars, things like that.
It's got the most cameras on you in one place, right? You just go there and you've got every media outlet there.
Yeah.
And you can be seen on thousands of outlets all in one go by just turning up on the red carpet.
Yeah. Well, not the Oscars since the famous incident, anyway, with the father.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he introduced the Quincy Jones
okay. Oh, that's good.
Which was really good, but crazy long. Like, it was Quincy Jones for like half an hour.
I mean, he was very important.
He was very important, but I don't think...
Come on, we got a show. You know, it's like that, isn't it?
So I think it was meant to be a 3.5 show that ended up being over 4 hours.
Crazy.
Because of that.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing. Every Grammys I watch it. I don't know when I started watching it, but I would say, I don't know, from a young age. I think I
used to be like that with the Oscars, but not the Grammys. Yeah.
Probably watched every Grammys for like 30 years or something.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Award shows. I like the award shows. I like the Oscars.
Yeah. I
like the Grammys. Yeah, they're boring and they're really, but it's only once a year.
It's hard to get them in the UK. These things. They'll show highlights the next day and everything. The Oscars they generally show live, but all the others it's hard to even.
I don't know why they do that because UK. It should just be worldwide.
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
Everyone to see.
It makes no sense because either one company's got the rights to it or they haven't, and if they've got the rights to it, show it. You know, don't prevent the other.
It's the Grammys. They probably do. It's their own production. And all that, and then they decide what channel it's going to be on, and
it's all the rights, isn't it? All the music rights,
rights, and all that's all got to be cleared, and so it is a lot more complicated with music. Like Oscars, it's just people talking, and they're not playing so much music. They only have to clear a few things. And to be honest, the whole music clearance thing has always been complicated. It probably still is very complicated when you're dealing with.
What do you prefer, the red carpet event or the actual ceremony when you're watching these things? Because that's always good fun, seeing what everybody's wearing and the mistakes they're making.
I'm interested in what some of the people have got to say, but then when you watch the people they ask us the same questions to all the artists. So like, you know, when you always hear interviews and artists going, "Oh yeah, I'm always get answered the same, asked the same thing."
Yeah.
I think I was watching Associated Press channel. I didn't watch Entertainment Tonight or E News versions. Just watched Associated Press, and the two people doing that, they just asked everyone exactly the same thing. So it was a bit boring.
Very boring.
It was all promoting, you know, raising money for fire relief
Right.
for LA, which made sense to do
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't think they went over the top on it, but every break and every clip and promotion was to promote and raise money, and they raised between 7 and 9 million on the
That's
night.
good. That is good.
But they did say that wasn't including money that people in the audience may have given. So
Right.
say like one artist would have given $1 million. So it was 7 to 9 million on the night through the general public. And then they said throughout the whole Grammy setup, like the whole week of maybe up to about 24, 25 million with various events and things, you know, after parties and things like that. So they raised a lot of money for it, but $25 million might not be enough to build one house.
Would you say that LA is the biggest music city, or is it New York, or is it Nashville? Where's the main one now?
We have to say,
being an American, I'm asking you your advice.
We have to say the entertainment capital of the world essentially is Hollywood and LA.
Yeah.
But when you say music, you've got to throw in Nashville, you've got to throw in Atlanta, you've got to throw in New York.
Yeah.
You know, and like Florida, like you've lived in Florida, I've lived in Florida. There's a very good music scene in Florida, and obviously you've got all the Disney parks like Universal, Disney, and they've all got their own theaters. So you see a lot more musical artists if you live in Orlando.
Yeah.
Or if an artist doesn't turn up in Orlando, they're going to turn up at Tampa.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
And Miami with EDM and electronic music.
Yeah. But music is, you know, you have to say across numerous cities. You know, one thing before we were going to talk, the most interesting thing. So I watched the whole show and I was going, there's hardly any awards. I was just like going, when are they going to give the next award out?
So it was all tributes and
4 hours. Do you know how
shows.
many awards they gave out?
It was all just shows, essentially, like
9.
One act after another.
They only gave 9 awards out across 4 hours. 9.
You're kidding?
No, only 9. Best rap album, best pop album, best country album, best new artist, best pop, best pop duo or group, record of the year, song of the year, and album of the year. No mention of R&B, no mention of rock or anything like in these categories. There's one thing I also noticed that, so there's 94 categories, and 85 were handed out in the afternoon pre the telecast.
So they do a lot of the awards earlier on. What they consider to be the more boring ones, like comedy album and spoken word, and
it used to be that, like you say, the most boring ones. But the thing is, there's
they think is boring
loads of good ones they've left out. If it was I think there's more boring awards in the Oscars than there are with music. Like producing,
best foreign language film, costumes,
is really part of music. Oscars is, you only really want to know the female and male winners, support can't think what the category is called.
Picture, best actor, best actress, best director.
And supporting actor and actress is very important in Oscars as well.
Yeah.
So before I saw that there were only 9 categories 9 categories on the TV broadcast. I was wondering, like, do they do like, the best new rap artist, the best new rock artist, the best new Latin art? They don't do that with the Grammys like they do on MTV Awards and stuff. So the Grammys essentially aren't supporting new music. They do have.
They just give Beyonce an award every year, don't they? So it's like that. She's had like 30 now, hasn't she? 30 Grammys.
Like that, but she's never won album of the year, and she did won album of the year this year. But she also won, but with that album, she won Best Country Album, which everyone went quiet on, and she was shocked. I think everyone was a bit embarrassed she won the Best Country Album, even though it was called Cowboy Carter.
Right.
It was a country album, but if you listen to it, there's only a couple of tracks on there that sound country-ish, and then the rest is very R&B kind of beat led and stuff like that.
Well, I saw our Charlie XCX won an award for something like
Yeah, no, she won a lot.
best electronic dance album, and these are these categories, these names that they give the categories. You just said that about R&B. Well,
Yeah, R&B
Charlie
wasn't
is not an electronic dance artist, but they are.
this album is.
They're given these titles, aren't they?
I'll have to stick up for Charlie on this one.
I'm not dissing Charlie.
I know you're not listening to it, but technically she's from the dance scene. She performed at dance clubs when she was really young, and our parents had to take her to raves and stuff, wait in the car, and then she would perform. Although she came across as a pop artist, and I think she really broke through that.
Well, by that, like I say, I'm not dissing her, but by that I mean she's not. DJs would not be playing a Charlie XCX on but DJs would go to Beatport and they would play new electronic
Well, her
music.
new album is a dance album, so they'll definitely be playing her.
Okay, 100%. Let's look that up afterwards.
But it's true, but yeah, she won Best Dance Album and Best Dance Pop Recording, and I think she won 3 awards, and none of those were TV based. Although she did perform, she did a good performance, like a Beastie Boys style thing, where like you're walking and the camera's following you, and you end up on the stage.
I mean, she's a great pop artist. You know, she started off by supporting Iggy Azalea, didn't she? So
yeah, well, she did the chorus on that real big Iggy track, which I think broke both of them massive.
And that's a long time ago now. This is, you know, we're going back 15 years now for this kind of stuff. She's not a new artist. She's been around a bit.
No, but there was there was the Best New Artist award. So who won the Best New Artist? Okay, so Best New Artist was this artist called Chappell Roan. Have you heard of her?
No, I don't know.
Okay. But she went on stage and she did something kind of cool. She's like indie pop, but more pop. And she was saying that labels should offer artists livable wage and health insurance. So you can kind of laugh at that a little bit going through the music industry. But she was saying, you know, her example was like through COVID, you couldn't do any performances.
Yeah.
Right, and so you couldn't make money as a musical artist.
Yeah.
So hence the label should support through times like that. And also, you're essentially working for the label. It's not really an agreement with the label because they can drop you any time. So they can just drop you. So asking for a livable wage and health insurance, especially in America, is not a big ask, but it's something that labels don't do. So something to think about, and maybe for the music industry to discuss. I don't think it's going to go any further than that. But she had that when she accepted her award of Best New Artist. That's something that she had written down in her book and said.
When an artist gets signed to a major, it's such a huge thing for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to push their luck too much.
No, but she kind of used that time as. I haven't heard an artist say that on stage. You know, normally it's political.
Yeah.
There was a few political stances on that night as well.
Yeah.
Nothing too hardcore. It's just the left and right views. It's not like it's a political stance or statement.
No MAGA hats last night.
Actually, on the red carpet, there was a woman.
Was there?
No, didn't wear a MAGA hat, but she wore a red baseball cap. It didn't say MAGA, but it said like.
But you knew the direction she was going with that red baseball cap.
Yeah, she said something like, it was something like, "I'm wearing this red hat" or something like that. I don't know what it was. I have to find it later or something. And she was saying that she, you know, her stance on the red carpet, most people would say they don't want immigrants being thrown out of the country. But her stance was, I want murderers and rapists that are illegally in the country to be thrown out. And
she's
and that goes to the common sense thing. Like, everyone should agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, when you're hard left, you don't agree with that, or you don't even mention that.
When you're a radical left-wing extremist.
Radical left, radical right, whatever.
Yeah.
But she won Best New Artist. But I thought the best thing of the Grammys, I hadn't heard of her before. I'd probably seen her perform. I didn't know her name. Was a rap artist called Doechii. Okay. And she's from Tampa, Florida, which is pretty cool. Out. Yeah, Doechii, she won Best Rap Album. And apparently, she said this on stage, that this Best Rap Album was actually the first one was back in 1989,
Oh wow.
and only 3 women had won, including her. She said like only 2, and then I think she said, "Oh, now there's 3." So
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill won it,
Okay.
and then
No, all
Cardi
right.
B won it,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
this artist called Doechii.
Cardi B's a magician, isn't she?
Yeah. I don't know what's Cardi B. That's a different woman, but I understand the humor.
Yeah.
Magician and musician.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Doechii, and she performed on the show as well, and did a very, very good performance. You
Yeah.
know, like a lot of the rap now, it is like a little bit kind of vulgar and swearing and stuff like that.
Yeah. That annoys me.
She
It
doesn't do
always has.
so much that. She's a lot more creative, way more creative than anyone else. You
Yeah.
know, I kind of said like she's kind of rapping it like she's got an old school vibe, a bit like a Soul and Pepper thing,
Yeah.
but with Busta Rhymes and with like her own style in it as well.
The problem with the whole profanity thing with me is that
Ah,
there are kids watching, and there's
poor kid.
parents. Yeah, I know, but there's parents.
The parents don't mind. The kids are in the back seat and they're all swearing and going along to the songs anyway. That's totally acceptable now. Kid swearing
I
is
know we did
cute.
it a bit, NWA and all that kind of stuff, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was before rap really, really exploded in this big way.
swearing.
The other controversy that I saw is that, speaking of politics, is that Snoop Dogg came out kind of supporting MAGA as well, or there was something that
Well, I
he
think
was attributed to supporting MAGA, and some people got upset with him.
I think Snoop Dogg and Nelly just performed at Mar-a-Lago or something, and then
Something like that. Yeah,
a few people brought it up at the red carpet, going, "You shouldn't do this" or whatever. But it's with award shows.
We just had the election, 2 weeks ago, so that's fresh as well, isn't it? The whole thing is it's been a really busy January, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot been happening: devastating fires, new president, all the controversy with Elon Musk and everything, and now we've got the Grammys as well. So it's all been
Grammys,
happening.
Super Bowl this weekend, and
Super
then
Bowl, yeah,
the
Super Bowl's
Oscars
next.
in
That's
March.
next this time next week. Yeah.
Are the I don't know if are the Oscars in March or
The
February?
Oscars, yes. I haven't
Something
got
like
the
that.
date in front of me, but yeah, Oscars are coming up as well. It's awards season.
Yeah. Just trying to think what else. Yeah, it was crazy long.
I saw that Roxanne Shante had a Lifetime Achievement Female Rapper Award. Was she actually in the show, or was that one of these other ones that are in a pre-show
Maybe in a
thing?
pre-show. I did see her on the red carpet. Associated Press interviewed her, so
Oh,
I did
okay,
see a bit
okay.
with her being interviewed.
So she'd already had her award, but she was there just
Yeah,
in the
well, like I
crowd.
say, there's 94 categories, probably not including giving out lifetime achievement stuff.
Yeah, and I've been a Roxanne Shante fan since she was probably 15 when she first started.
What else? So one thing I was just thinking to myself, and I'm not. This isn't a diss, but you got the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, which is a wicked award, and then kind of he got it. I think like in 2003 when he received it, he then gave out awards to Lil Wayne,
Yeah,
Missy Elliott, and Sylvia Rhone. Do you know Sylvia Rhone? I haven't heard
I
that
don't
name.
know. So I'm proving myself to be you're the knowledgeable one of
Well,
the current
I'm
scene.
not logical because I don't know who she is, and I'm not going to fact check myself.
Apart from the fact I do know that Cardi B is a magician, so I'm very hot on that as well.
But one thing, so Jay-Z won it in 24, and then Alicia Keys won it this year.
Yeah,
Now, it's obviously it's a genre of music that I've, rap and R&B, I've kind of grown up with and supported all the time. But I'm just kind of
yeah,
thinking that every year the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award is just going to be an award given to someone that he knows and is a friend of his. Pretty much.
possibly. Yeah,
That's the way I see that.
the way these
Global
things work,
Impact.
isn't it?
Pardon?
That's the way these things work generally.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people complaining about, say, like, oh, Beyonce winning this Best Country Album award, right? But
Yeah,
the thing is, it is like the Oscar. It is voted by musicians or
Well, she
magicians.
did a disco album a couple of years ago, didn't she?
No, I
So
know, but what I'm saying is, so they said 13,000 votes, so it's either just under that or just over that. So you're a member of the Recording Academy and you vote, so your peers are voting for you. It's not made up award where they're just giving it out to someone like the Associated Press thing. Not Associated Press. What's the award show before the Oscars?
it is the Associated Press.
Foreign Press. It's the Foreign Associated Press
Okay.
or Foreign something press.
Okay.
That is a bit made up because the press kind of vote for that.
Where was the show?
Good question.
Was
That's a good question.
not
Like
the Kodak Theatre on,
Yeah, I don't think
Hollywood Boulevard? It's somewhere else.
I think it's bigger than that. I think it might have been.
Downtown, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even. But when it's in an arena or something, the arena changes name every 3 or 5
Dorothy
years.
something Pavilion or
Yeah.
some place like that, yeah.
All I can say was in LA. It wasn't in. I think it was in an arena, so it was probably in the old Staples Center or something of similar size.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't know that. I should know that, but I don't follow music as closely as I used to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Diana Ross gave out an award.
Oh, really?
Might have been. I think she may have introduced Alicia Keys to this Dr. Dre Global Impact Award.
Yeah.
That was cool. Shakira performed. She did
Okay, I like Shakira. We're both Shakira fans.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not a Shakira fan. I'm like a Shakira fan of that Bees a Rap thing that she did. That isn't even in English.
Yeah, no, I like that as well.
And she performed that.
Yeah.
That's such a good song that is.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
By
I like that.
Bizarre Rap dance producer guy. And I think her son said that she should do it. Oh,
Yes.
And it was a massive
So what did
track.
she perform at the Grammys this year?
She did perform that.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah, and then
So they didn't just do one track; they did mini shows.
yeah,
these
I
artists.
think she did 3 or 4 tracks, but I was into
God,
the
that's a
Bizarre
serious
Rap
show.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like they need to.
Was Ariana Grande there?
Didn't see her.
Okay.
Didn't see her. A lot of people made a point, yeah, because Taylor Swift was there, and they were kind of saying, and the biggest loser was Taylor Swift because she didn't.
Did she not win anything?
But she did win award. She did win a Grammy. I don't know which ones, but they just weren't the televised ones.
Okay.
She did win.
Well, she just spent the whole year on that tour, didn't she?
Yeah,
Everywhere. I mean, that tour went on for like almost a year.
it
All
did.
over
It
the
did.
world.
Just trying to. Yeah, so it's hard. Like when you go over those 9 tracks or 9 awards, it's like when you go through them and who they won, it was a bit boring. So like Sabrina Carpenter, she won Best Pop Vocal Album.
And Cilla Black didn't win anything this year?
Not this year, no.
See, it's not a credible show unless she does. Nothing for Cliff Richard either.
I think like, and also Billie Eilish missed out on a few awards that she could have won. I reckon she was runner up with a lot, like Record of the Year. She could have easily have won, but Kendrick Lamar won that.
Kendrick Lamar was, of course, doing the halftime show at the Super Bowl next weekend.
Yeah, so he won Record of the Year and Song of the Year. And a lot of people go, what's the difference between the Song of the Year and the Record of the Year? It's just simply the Song of the Year is
exactly.
like who wrote it.
Yeah.
So the artist goes up and accepts the Song of the Year with the writers. But in this case, he wrote the track. So he just went up by himself.
Oh, you say Song of the Year meaning the songwriters. Okay.
Yeah. That's the difference. They're going, what's the difference between the Song of the Year and Record of the Year?
Well, the
Surely
record
they're
is the
same.
production, isn't it? It's the master. It's the classic thing of there are 2 rights. There's the
Yeah, but
the composition, and then there's the master rights.
They're separate categories, though. But
Yeah.
essentially, Song
It's
of the Year
kind
and
of good
Record
that
of the
they
Year
have
should be the
separate
same
categories
thing.
of that. Yeah.
Essentially, it's saying the same thing, though. But they are different because one's for the songwriting and one's for just
Yeah.
the record.
Well, it's good that the writers get recognised. That's very important to me, being
Well, in this case, it was Kendrick Lamar.
being a
It's like Taylor Swift.
representative, but hopefully of the PRS. Yeah. On the Writers' Council. Fingers crossed.
A lot of these, what I do like about, even though these artists are well known and you're not getting a lot of new artists being seen on TV, a lot of them do write their own songs.
Yeah, that's
like
a
Charlie
very good thing.
XCX,
Yeah, yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, etc. Billie Eilish, like you said, writes stuff with her brother.
Well, it's important from a creative point of view that these artists are not just, you know, the boy band type things where they're given everything by an A&R person and said, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna work with these 15 people and you're not going to write anything or whatever." There are some talents out there who are doing everything still.
yeah. So the only difference between music now is like before it went digital, like you would sell physical albums.
Yeah,
Or even after digital, you were still selling a lot of albums. You say like
CDs. Yeah,
CDs and stuff were still being sold. And
yeah.
I was looking into like Shakira, like when she kind of broke into
And by the way, they're still selling CDs in other parts of the world. In
yeah
Korea and Japan, still big.
yeah, but she kind of what was interesting about Shakira is that she decided to take English lessons so she could do a crossover. So it's quite a big
Multilingual.
thing for
Yeah.
a Latin artist to go English. It's almost like selling out, doing an English speaking album if you're a Latin artist. And so she decided to do a crossover thing, and she actually took English lessons, and she actually wrote a lot of those tracks in English with Gloria Estefan.
Oh, right. Okay.
2001.
Gloria Estefan or Gloria Estefan?
Both of those.
Yeah.
would be would thing. But in 2001, that album sold 13 million copies.
Shakira's album.
That Shakira album, yeah.
Wow, that's
In
fantastic.
2001, sold 13. Yes, did I say 13,000? I meant to say
You
13
said 13
million.
No, you did say million.
I did say, okay, for some reason I thought I said thousand.
No.
13,000, like that's not a lot. 13 million.
Yeah.
And then she sold like 8 million, it kind of went down, but she was selling millions and millions and millions of records. And now, so that 13 million, 4 million, like Oral Fixation 2 sold 8 million. And then like
You're saying sales are going down.
just going down. 2017, 4
Because
million.
there's a culture where people expect, kids particularly expect everything for free, don't they? They think there's a way to get it for free, and there generally is, unfortunately.
Well, there is now.
I what did I do the other that I bought? I bought something. I was just didn't even ask for it, and I was told I had 3 months worth of Apple Music for free. Oh yeah, a drone. What's the connection? I bought a drone. And because I bought the drone, I get 3 months worth of Apple Music for free. Please tell me how there's any connection, why they're giving away people's music if you buy a drone. It's bizarre. Anyway.
Apple Music, and it's all getting people to get on the platform a free month,
Yeah.
3 months, and hope that they stay on.
Yeah.
And even if they don't listen, then it's like a gym membership. They just keep playing.
Not only did I get that, they gave me 3 months of all the Apple services apart from magazines. So I got the fitness, I got the TV, and I got the music.
And have you signed up for it to get the 3 months, or have you not even bothered?
No, I just got to do the link. Once I do the link, I can sign up for it. But I've already got free Apple Music. No, I've already got free Apple TV at the moment through my bank, and it doesn't seem to be finishing. It's just like it's there. It's just if you're a Barclays customer, you get Apple Music, Apple TV. So I've already got that. So I don't want to sign up twice for the same thing. So they're just giving it away. I mean, what state Hollywood must be in if everything's just given away to people who are not even asking for it now? I mean, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Well, like I say, normally you've signed it, you're getting it free for a certain amount of time, and then it doesn't turn into ever. But maybe in your case, maybe it is.
Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I did find it weird that they didn't mention rock and R&B on the TV performance this year. I don't know if it was the same last year.
it's more than weird. I mean, to have an huge American award show that doesn't mention rock and roll now? That's
and
a huge
R&B.
thing. Yeah,
There's a lot
rock and roll. But rock and roll is the bedrock of American music, isn't it? Of popular music.
You don't say rock and roll. You don't even say rock and roll when it was the 80s.
No, they used to call it rock and roll in they still call it rock. They still call it rock and roll hard rock music in America, don't they? That's the thing that always used to freak me out, because I always used to think from a UK person, rock and roll meant the 50s. And then
Yeah,
after
rock and
that, it
roll, yeah.
became rock. But in America, they say rock and roll, you know, now, don't they? For thrash and stuff like that, it's part
I
of
would
rock.
say
It's in
no.
the rock and roll section. If
No.
you're in a,
The only
if you're
time
in a
I hear
record
rock
store,
and roll is maybe like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but you don't hear people saying rock and
you're
roll.
saying that the phrase is dying finally, going
It
down,
died
and now it means
5 years
historical
ago,
stuff,
decades
legacy,
ago.
legacy as we call it, legacy media is the new word, isn't it? Yeah.
And they don't do the if they don't do the new artists, they do things like best something solo performance, like best country solo performance,
Yeah.
best country song. None of this was on a TV performance. I'm just kind of scrolling through a few things.
Yeah.
Temporary. I wanted to get so Latin. There wasn't a lot of Latin mentioned. Best Latin album was Shakira won, but everyone knows who she is, so there was
Yeah.
no one new.
Yeah.
I would say, what was very big this year was Afro beats as well, and
Oh, really?
yeah, massive, yeah. And there was no Afro beat stuff in this, which they could have put in. There was no dance mentioned. I mean, literally, you're
There
missing
was no
out.
dance mentioned at the Grammys, because even like 2 years ago, there was dance. Dance was having a comeback, like real dance. Not necessarily the Charlie XCX pop dance, but I know that Purple Disco Machine had an award like 2 years ago. So it seemed like dance was coming back, and it was amazing that they were at the Grammys, because they really are like something that DJs would play.
Yeah, but if you want to throw the term,
I like the term
other,
EDM, by the way, and it's become a
yeah,
dirty word. I like
yeah.
that.
No, it's a good. That's probably one thing that America has actually made EDM a thing, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, EDM just stands for
You've got
electric.
EDM, you've got DEI,
Yeah. Well,
got all
there
the
wasn't a
news.
lot
You've
of.
got BLM. Um, you've got all these things.
Everything has to be initialized and categorized in America.
Yeah, KFC.
Always been that way. It's like when I was selling records in America, you had to be in a certain section. You had to know how to sell that record. It had to be in a certain section. If you couldn't say what section it would be in, it just wouldn't be in the store.
Yeah,
This is when you still had
definitely,
Virgin Records and
of course.
what was there was a big record store.
By the way, is Tower Records still in LA on that corner, or has it gone
No,
now?
no,
It's
it's
gone.
gone. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know what's there. It's a show. It should still just say Tower Records, even if something else is in there, because it's
I
such
just
a
yeah.
landmark.
It just shows how long it is since I've been there. It was there last time I was there.
Yeah, last time I went there was maybe like 2022 or beginning of 2023, but I was in downtown LA, and so she's nowhere near.
But LA's always been a music town as well, because I remember when I was I think the first time I was driving through LA, seeing on Sunset David Geffen's the Geffen Company, and that kind of underlined the fact that it really is a music town as well. It's not just movies. LA.
You remember when like Madonna had a label? It was called Maverick. She had like a Maverick Studios and stuff as well.
No, I don't remember
Remember
having
Maverick
a label called
Studios?
Maverick. I know she was on Sire,
Yeah, but she had
Seymour
her own
Stein's
label and
label.
production house called Maverick. I can't think like who was on Maverick or who broke on that brand.
Yeah.
But I liked going to LA because of like skateboard shops, BMX shops,
Yeah.
like old vinyl shops.
But it's really
Donut-
changed. It's really
donut
changed now,
shops,
hasn't
like
it?
cheap donuts, but everything now is expensive. Like burgers, it's like the
Yeah.
$1 burger is now like a $15 burger.
Yeah,
It's the
it's
same thing
crazy,
with
isn't it?
donuts. Like if you want donuts, just have a Dunkin' Donut for like $1.
Yeah.
But everyone wants to queue up and get a donut for like $8 or something. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
if you
Like,
go
loads
to
of
if you go to
cream and stuff.
LA and you need a donut, you must go to Greg's.
That's not even in LA.
I know. I just.
And people,
What is this Greg's, man?
Greg's is English,
Yeah,
famous for a
as long as they got
roll.
lids there, we're fine.
Yeah, Lids is in America and in UK.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, I think we've covered the Grammys quite well there, with our irreverence, with our idle chit chat. You know what would be a good one to do that we should actually next week after the Super Bowl, we could analyze the commercials, not the
Oh yeah,
game,
that could be good.
because that's, let's face it, that's what. There's two things that when I was in America, because I
Yeah,
lived
yeah.
in Florida for a little while.
Because everyone has a Super Bowl
The,
party.
the two, yeah, the Super Bowl party used to have, the chips and the dips and the burgers and stuff like that. That's one thing. But when you get to Super Bowl Sunday, it was Puppy Bowl was one thing
Oh yeah, the
that
dog thing.
everybody. Yeah, I used to watch Puppy Bowl, which was
Is that on
very.
the same day or the day before?
It's on during the show,
Oh, okay.
during the Super. Actually, it might be an hour. I think it's beforehand.
Hmm.
But anyway, yeah, it's on the same day. So there's Puppy Bowl, and of course the commercials. Everybody loves those commercials. You can see they spend most insane amount of money to get a Super Bowl spot, don't they? We were talking about Temu recently.
Yeah, last
That
year they
had
did.
the last 2 years they launched with the Super Bowl commercials. So yeah, I'm going to be watching next week to watch the commercials, and maybe that's something we should kind of analyze.
Kanye West does a commercial on Super Bowl as well, or he did last year.
Oh, for what?
Kanye West. Like whatever his .com is, like ye.com or
Okay. Oh, we didn't
Yeezy.com.
mention Kanye West incident on the Grammys before we finished, the where he turned up with apparently uninvited or without a ticket with his girlfriend, and
That's not
then
true.
they said he and her got thrown out. I can't really imagine that, but she had a see-through dress.
Yeah, totally see through and nothing on at all.
Did the cameras catch that, or did
Yeah,
they
yeah.
block it?
There's photos and stuff online you can see. And she did post. She posted 2 photos on her Instagram page, which you shouldn't even be allowed to have on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't
But
know
she
if they're
did have. She was covered up by something like a mesh dress
It
or
was a
something like that.
it was a perfectly see-through dress, but it wasn't like cling film where it was all blurred or like
It just
some
looked like she
kind
was
of,
naked. Essentially, you could just see everything.
yeah.
Mm.
But that was purely to get people talking, right? And then
Yeah, get people to
and
just
then
like
what?
Jaden with his crazy castle on his head.
Yeah,
It is.
castle hat.
It's
But
attention,
do you
competitive
remember?
attention thing.
Do you remember like the Oscars, like last year or the year before? There was a woman that had a massive hat on, like
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely fucking massive,
Everyone's
and everyone was
yeah.
saying the people
Everyone
behind
was like,
her and all that.
oh God,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
yeah.
showed just one clip of Jaden in the audience, and he still had the fucking thing on his head.
Oh no,
So if you were
that's
behind
terrible.
him, you'd have
That's
just
really
been.
selfish. Yeah,
I think I would have said something. I'd
yeah,
just keep being like a kid and just pushing the back of his chair the whole show,
definitely.
saying, "Well, if you're
Okay.
annoying me for 4 hours, I'm going to annoy you for 4 hours."
All right, Chris. Well, I think we've covered things just about as much as we possibly can. We don't want to get people saying, you know what, I would rather watch. I would
What they
rather
want?
watch a 4.5 hour
Yeah, then listen
battle
to you.
report, Simon Harris live from London, than 4.5 hours worth of the Grammys. So we don't want to bore people too much. Is that the right way around? I'm not sure. But anyway,
You said it wrong, but
I said it wrong. I said
you
it
did
completely wrong. But anyway,
completely
you
wrong.
get my drift. That if
Yeah.
we don't want to turn into the Grammys being 4.5 hours long, we've covered things more than enough. And I think the next one we can talk about the Super Bowl commercials. Anyway, Chris, thank you very much for being on the show, even though it's your show as well. I should just explain that
Well, we're
Simon Harris
demoing
Live
them.
from London is going to become Battle Report, and it's going to it's going to be a crossover thing anyway.
We're
So
crossing over, man. We're going to sell out after 2 or 3 episodes. We're
yeah,
selling out to
you
a
need
large
an
channel.
exit route. You need an exit route to NBC or something like that. You need to make a deal with the legacy media and sell it to the Murdoch Empire and
Like
become
Piers Morgan going
the new
solo.
apprentice or something. Anyway, all right, we'll have a news conference about that at Mar-a-Lago, and then we'll hold a rally.
All right. I'll see you there, not.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Chris James, Simon Harris, live from London, and we've been talking about the 2025 Grammys.